What's up? This is Tom from Tom's Project Guitars, and today we're going to be bringing back a PS2 SG, or I guess reviving a PS2 SG. I bought this off of Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks, a little more than I wanted to spend on it, to be honest, but I knew the guy. I've done work or business with him before on Facebook, so I just, bit the bullet and bought it. We're just going to take the shell apart, removing the 11 screws, I think? 11 Phillips head 1 screws. Just, removing all the screws. I don't know what else to say. This was my, the first, Guitar Hero model that I had, like, instrument-wise. It came with my Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock PS2 bundle thing. Now I am taking out all the parts. I found the little tab that broke off the whammy right there. I'm gonna do my best to fix that in the future of the video. Now we're gonna remove the 4 screws on each corner of the main board. I should have took the neck apart as well, because I forgot they just don't disconnect. But we'll get there when we get there. Now I'm just disassembling the whammy, getting all the parts that we'll need. Try not to lose those. Now that giant housing that I just took off, you're not going to need that entire thing. You're just going to need the little parts that came off. Now we're taking apart the start select board. 3 Phillips head screws. I'm just keeping all my screws organized, my little trays that I made. Now here's where I'm moving on to the neck shell. 5 Phillips head screws, Phillips head 1, PH1 it'll say on the bit. Other than somebody cutting the cable that goes into the PS2, this guitar was in pretty decent shape. Also, I forgot the whammy bar was broken too. Now we're taking off the fret buttons. We're not going to need those, so we're getting another bin to put all the stuff we don't need into it. I'm just making sure these brackets go back where I remember they think they went, because there's like letters on them. Can't remember the letters that were on this one. I might show it. I can't remember. But yeah, that whole thing, whole wiring harness, just tuck it in there. Yeah, there's some letters on there, but just keep a mental note. Now we're going to remove the 4 dampener rubber things off the Strumbar, along with the little side grommet washer things. Oh yeah, don't forget those buttons. Now that we have everything apart, we're going to take the shell, put it aside. Now here's where I'm going to try to fix the whammy. That little tab broke off right there, and it kind of keys in perfectly. So I'm going to clean the area with some isopropyl alcohol. Make sure it's fully dry. Make sure that it's fully dry. And I'm just putting some CA glue onto that. Held it in place for a few seconds and sprayed it with some accelerator. Now I'm going to let that cure for a little bit. Then here's where I had an idea. Take a little picture frame hanger bracket thing, or whatever you got. This is just a quick little DIY thing I came up with on the fly. I'm gonna file off the sharp edges, cut the other side. So I have like a little L piece. I'm also gonna file the sharp edges off that as well. And then we're gonna put it right there. But I want to first straighten it out. I put it off camera into my vise and smacked a better angle into it with a hammer, with a nylon tipped hammer. Now I'm just, trying to get it as 90 degree as possible. I'm going to scuff up the areas where I'm going to glue it. You don't need to go crazy, just quick scuffing and a quick chamfer on the back. And it sits pretty clean. Now I'm going to scuff up the metal, just so the glue has something to bite into. Do it on both sides where the glue and the plastic are going to meet. And then I'm going to clean the areas with isopropyl alcohol, and then make sure it's dry before I go in with the CA glue. Just doing a little dab. I had brown, so CA glue is the only thing I had laying around that hasn't gone to shit yet. So I'm just gonna use it, you know, and hope for the best. Then I'm gonna put it in place, get it centered, spray it with some accelerator, and then let it cure. It looks pretty good. It looks good for like a quick 5-minute DIY. Now here I'm cleaning all the tiny parts with isopropyl alcohol. These things are usually kind of filthy after, you know, 2 decades of chilling in somebody's room, basement, attic, garage, wherever. So you just want to give them a nice clean. Also, you know, it's a game for like kids and teenagers, or like that it was marketed to. So, and you know, the 2 dirtiest things that I know are teenagers and kids. So, you know, just make sure you clean. Now, obviously, you don't have to go this crazy, getting every little nook and cranny, doing whatever. It's a good practice to get into. Now, that big white piece at the top right, you're not going to need, so I didn't even bother cleaning it. Everything else is getting clean, though. The buttons, literally everything. Oh yeah, fun fact, this is also, I may have said this before, but this is my favorite model of a Guitar Hero guitar that they have made. I think it's because it's the first one that I had and that I like, you know, cut my teeth with. I'll get that strum bar into the parts we don't need. I'm going to clean up the bar a little bit. This bar is pretty clean compared to the Wii one that I did. The Wii one had a little bit of rust on it. Clean up the feet, those little dampeners. Honestly, this is the best thing to do, just put on music or a podcast and just, you know, clean the parts. Makes the time fly. Now with a dry Q-tip, you're going to clean the carbon pads on the bottom. I don't know if I said, but make sure you pull those out of the start select board, or the old start and select board. I forgot I put that in. I edit in sections, so... But now you just take everything, put it into the tray of all the stuff you're gonna need. This, I think I throw it into the stuff you don't need. Put it in a baggie, label it, you know, do what you need to do with it, throw it away if you want. Oh, I also forgot to say, remove these from the Strumbar. You're gonna need those. Also, clean them with alcohol and all that. And put the strum bar back into the parts you don't need. I was going to try to reuse this from the wire, but what's his name? RetroCultMods, of course, thought of everything for these kits, so I didn't need it. Now I'm just taking a brush, cleaning out the inside. It was fairly clean. Now I'm getting these like dry rotted stickers off. The adhesive was like stuck on to the plastic, and the paper was... Sometimes it was brittle as a dead man's toenail, and other times it just would not come up. So now I'm just going to soak it in isopropyl alcohol, get all as much of the sticker residue I can get off with that. It does a decent job, but it doesn't get everything off. I also will say I didn't fully 100% get all the sticker gunk off. Like I'm currently looking at sticker gunk on the SG, but I have a plan for this guitar in the future, so subscribe and stay tuned. Yeah, just wiping it all down with alcohol. Doing as much as I can. Now here's where I moved on to like almost like a Clorox wipe, but it's not Clorox brand or anything like that. It doesn't have any harsh, crazy chemicals in it. It's almost like a baby wipe, but not really. Okay, just making sure everything's wiped down inside the fret buttons too, because you don't want anything being in the way of your buttons moving. Dry paper towel, get off the rest of the crap. Now here I'm using some what's it called? Some lemon oil for like an actual real guitar's like fretboard, like a rosewood fretboard, to like hydrate it, because it's oily, so it helps get all that rest of the sticker residue off. They also kind of shine the plastic up a little bit, which I kind of didn't like. So I think I went back in and like gave it a fresh wipe down with some isopropyl alcohol. And here's where I was going to try to scrape off the shit, but I didn't want to scrape into the plastic. So I was just like, screw it. I'll roll with the punches. This is going to be my personal guitar though, so I'm not worried. Yeah, see, I came in, made sure I wiped everything down. I think I put alcohol on that, I can't remember. Or maybe I put alcohol on the next. I don't know, either way it's clean. There was some sticker residue over the red octane sticker because there was a sticker over the sticker. Stickerception. Also make sure you get in between, like, you know, the sandwich area where the two bodies meet and the necks. You don't want, because it gets a lot of gunk in there. So just make sure you clean in every crevice. And here I'm just trying to doing the same thing with the lemon oil, just trying to get as much of the sticker residue off. I kind of gave up because I didn't want to ruin this sticker because it was already kind of peeling. So I moved on to where the skull was. Skull wasn't there when I got it, but I can I can see the skull outline. And you have eyes, obviously you can see it too. Yeah, just wiping it clean. Cleaning out the inside with the brush, just making sure it's good to go. Same with the neck. Give it a wipe down on the outside with one of those disinfectant wipe things. Make sure to get the ridge where they meet. Take a dry paper towel, wipe it down. And the crevices. Like Charlie, I'm getting in the crevice! Now here's the RetroCultMods Revival Kit. I had two kits in here, so that's why the box is so big, and why you see a jump cut to after I separated everything. It took a little bit. But yeah, there's the strum board that everything plugs into. The 3D printed Strumbar. The start and select board. The wires that, you know, you use everything to plug into. The USB-C. The Auth and USB-C cable. The whammy mechanism. All the hardware. 3D printed fret buttons. Also clear for the RGB to see through. And then the Strumboard, or the fretboard. Fret buttons. Yeah, I know words. And the RetroCultMods card. And the sticker. Now here I'm going to prep the Strumboard, or the Strumbar. Putting the dampeners in. They just press right in. Easy peasy. Now you put these little grommet things in for the bar itself that rides through. Now I'm going to clean where the Strumbar bar meets. Now you're going to want to put this in, make sure it spins freely. Now there's going to be some wiggle room. This is where You grab the hardware bag, pop out a little grommet, pop out the other little grommet. Come on, Tom. I don't have fingernails, I'm sorry. Then you take some big washers that come in the hardware bag. You can pull them off. I snip them off just to make them cleaner. I start with one on each grommet. They act as a spacer in between the Strumbar and the grommet thing itself. That just, you know, it widens the Strumbar a bit. And that was perfect, by the way. I did cut where I put one extra in on one side, but it was too tight, so I went to one on each side. And now I'm lubing all the friction points on the Strumbar. Anywhere the bar touches, lube it. Taking the black brackets, also lubing those because I almost forgot. Now we can grab these two little spacer things that go onto the switch itself. It's like 20 thousandths of an inch that'll be like extra protruding out of the switch. It doesn't look like much, but it'll help. So just make sure you put those in. Now here's where we're taking 4 long screws from the kit, the hardware bag, and we are screwing the board into those black brackets that hold the Strumbar in place. Side note, this is the second time I've done a voiceover, and I'll tell you one thing, I completely forget how to speak and what parts are, like when I'm doing these. But yeah, I was just testing the Strumbar right there. Felt good, felt great. Telling you to make sure that... Oh yeah, don't forget these. Put the little rubber things in. Once again, I don't have fingernails. Anxiety robs me of them. So pull out my tweezers, pull them through. That's how it'll look. Make sure you put the buttons in. And make sure the part you're going to plug one of the wires into, or maybe just, here's a better wording now that I know how to speak. Select button faces like the direction of the main board. Now take 2 long screws from the kit and install the board. And remember, finger tight. You don't crank down on these things. Now I'm going to do the whammy mechanism. My potentiometer was on the left side, so I'm going to grab the pieces marked with L. Am I going to get this in the frame? I'm just grabbing all the pieces. Now you're going to want to put one thing of the spring right there, one end of the spring onto that, and it's going to be like mirror itself. It only goes on one way. Now this is where I had to kind of install it onto the thing itself. You're going to want to put that bracket that we fixed in between those 2 white pieces that hold the spring. It kind of suspends the spring. And then take the plate, put it on the other side, push it down. We're good. Now make sure you know where, like, how the hole is oriented on the whammy bar, so you know which orientation to put the actual potentiometer, and then slide it into place. Take the other piece, slide it up on top as much as you can. You're going to need to finagle this. I'll put a video in the description of a better way to do it by RetroCultMods himself. Yeah, that's installed now. Whammy's functioning. That repair is holding so far. I'm going to take a red cable from the bag, take that little protector piece out. Cable's only going one way. Make sure you put it in the right way. Put it to the start select port on the main board. And since we're here, I'm going to plug in the whammy as well. It's going to be a black wire coming out of the potentiometer. Plug it into the spot on the board marked whammy. Now here I'm grabbing the center piece for the Auth and USB cable. The small protruding side is going to be into the body, or outside the body, sorry. So make sure you feed it in that orientation. It's going to slide right into there. Plug in each wire. It's going to be a USB and Auth. Auth at the top, USB at the bottom. These are some thick cables too, so I'm gonna do some wire management, especially since the body is basically done. Now we're plugging in the wires, the white wires from the kit. There'll be fret 1, fret 2, and RGB labeled on each board. Make sure you plug each wire into the same port that the wire is going to on the opposite board. This wire was a little bent, so I straightened it out as much as I could. And now we are gonna take some of that lube that came with the kit and put it on each of the friction points. And this thing doesn't have to be oozing with with the grease or the lube, whatever kind of grease it is. So just put a little dab on each corner, smear it, and then drop the fret buttons in. If you see any residue on the fretboard after this is all assembled of the lubricant that came with it, just wipe it off, you know. Oh, God, my back. Now we're taking 2 long screws from the kit. Here we're going to install the fret buttons, the fretboard. I mean, it's literally a fretboard. That's funny. And now we're going to do some wire management with these handy dandy clips that I have an abundance of. Is that the right term for it? Is it abundance? I don't know. I just want to sound fancy. Yeah, I did some weird management here. No idea why. Wait, just make sure no wires are blocking any of the screw standoffs. Here's the back of my head. My hair is a mess, I'm sorry. My beanie is currently in the wash. Now we're going to put the shell on, making sure it all just clicks on. You're not pressing anything like crazy, it just falls into place. Now we're going to install the 5 Phillips head screws. Also, and before I put the back on, I'm going to bring this over to the PC and run it through the programming tool just to test it. I still have the guitar open because I'm going to use the USB port on the motherboard itself just to see if it's working. Let's open the programming tool. Link will be in the description. The revival kit should pop up right here. Hit configure. Now, first thing we're going to do is the whammy. So we're going to hit calibrate. This is release the whammy, so don't touch it. Hit next. Push the whammy all the way in. While doing so, hit next. And then now you set the dead zone. Just push it down ever so slightly and hit next. Now your whammy is calibrated. The tilt. Hold your guitar, or hit calibrate, then hold your guitar in its normal position. Mine's a little elevated when I play, so I'm gonna elevate it ever so slightly. Hit next, and then tilt your guitar up for the star power. Hit next, and now it's set. Make sure you hit save settings over here. And it'll write and save your your changes. Now once again, I don't know why my RGB isn't working. Maybe if I hit load preset. I feel like this worked for mine last time. Yep, that worked. Hit save. Alrighty. Now we can scroll down and test our inputs if we want. Everything is working so far. Down, up, select, start. Whammy, you can't really test the whammy in here, but you can see it work up the up above. Yeah. Also, if your whammy and everything was uncalibrated or whatever, make sure you redo it all and then hit save settings again. This is after you did the load preset thing if your RGB wasn't working. So now I'll show you how to set your RGB. Now there's pressed color and release color. Pressed is obviously the color it'll turn when you press it. Released is when it's released. I'm going to turn mine all red for this build. It's a little too pink. I need something. This is post-edit Tom here. My whammy was not calibrated correctly, so I did have to go in and recalibrate my whammy, and that kind of fixed my RGB issue that I didn't mention because my lights weren't working, but I figured it out. It was the whammy, the dead zone. It was pushed way too far in. But yeah, appreciate you watching. A little darker. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to do this for all my RGB. You can do it for every button, even your strum. Yeah. I hope I helped. Now we're back at the workbench. I'm going to put all the screws back in for the back shell of the body. Everything feels great. The whammy is fixed. Now I'm going to wipe the back of the headstock down with some alcohol. Make sure I dry it off real nice with a dry paper towel. Then we're going to put the RetroCultMods sticker on the back. And it's done. So, what do I think about RetroCultMods? I think I'm a huge fan. I mean, I've only used RetroCultMods and I think Byte Arts for like some rock band guitars. But you know, any modder who makes custom boards, like I want to try Funky Customs. Funky Customs, if you're watching this. If you want to send me a board or a kit, I would be extremely thankful. And that goes with RetroCultMods too. I have a pile of guitars here that I would certainly appreciate a board or two for. But yeah, they're easy to install, especially the solderless revival kits. It's literally you plug in every little component that's clearly labeled, and as long as you check your work and the programming tool recognizes all your things and calibrates all your stuff, then you're good to go. Then it'll work on freaking anything. And like it's honestly brilliant, and I love the concept of taking, you know, what was just trash in like someone's garage or basement and, you know, making a whole new life for it, basically. Like now you're not console restricted. You can, I mean, I've only used it on PC and Rock Band 4 on my PlayStation so far, but I mean, it literally, you plug it in and it just works, at least from my experience. Now you may have to plug it in or unplug it and plug it back in to have it recognize, but I mean, these kits are awesome. Like I can't praise them enough. I've been what's it called? I've been using the Wii Les Paul for like around, I don't know, like 5 days now as like my main guitar, and as like slightly, you know, critical as I was, parentheses, my personal preference of Strumbars, like about the Strumbar, like, I mean, I got used to it fairly quick. Like, I don't even, like, I play fine. Like, it's no biggie. Cause like the strum switches have like a good tactile click, but it's a little on, like, to engage it's a little on like the light side. I feel like I need like a heavier like engagement of a switch, because I'm just a little aggressive when I play. I can't help it, just how I am. But yeah, do I recommend these kits? Hell yeah. Especially if you like to tinker like I do. Like, this is, like I said in the last video, this is the two things that I love. I love rhythm games and I love tinkering. So it's like, to me, it's the best of both worlds. Like, if I could spend all day like taking old guitars apart, putting new guts into them, and then just having them be good to go for it. Like, I can do this all day. I've done worse all day, let's just say that. But yeah, this was a fun time. I always love doing these kits. I have another kit sitting here for a Xbox 360 Les Paul, so I guess expect another build video within like the next, I don't know, week or two. I mean, I genuinely just don't like editing, especially voiceovers. Like, I don't know how to talk in voiceovers. But yeah, I love these kits. They're awesome. Buy them. Tell them Tom from Tom's Project Guitars sent you. Maybe I can work with these guys in the future in some way. That would be nice. But yeah, kind of like, you know, put my elbow into the door. All right, but yeah, this is Tom from Tom's Project Guitars. I'm out. Like and subscribe.